Most people believe they will live long simply because they eat fairly well, take their medicines, and stay active. But the truth is more uncomfortable than anyone wants to admit. Every single day, millions of seniors make small choices that quietly push them closer to the edge, stealing years from their life without them even realizing it. These are dramatic mistakes or wild habits. They are the silent kind that seem harmless in the moment, yet over time, they create the perfect storm inside the body. That is why so many people never make it past 82, and the saddest part is that these mistakes are entirely preventable. The first deadly mistake is skipping deep sleep. Most people over 60 think that sleeping less is a natural part of aging, but research shows that poor sleep is one of the biggest hidden causes of early death. In a study published by the National Institute on Aging, scientists found that seniors who slept less than 6 hours a night had a 62% higher risk of dying within the next 5 years compared to those who slept 7 to 8 hours. Deep sleep is when the brain clears out toxic waste, the heart resets its rhythm, and cells repair themselves. When you lose deep sleep, inflammation levels rise, memory starts to fade, and the immune system weakens. Many older adults proudly say, "I only need 5 hours, I'm fine." But that's like saying you only need half a tank of oxygen and can still climb a mountain. The body may adapt for a while, but the damage is constant and quiet. A lack of deep sleep has also been linked to higher rates of heart disease, diabetes, and Alzheimer's. The real danger is that it doesn't feel dangerous. You just feel a little tired, a little foggy, but nothing serious. Then one day, the body simply gives up because it has been running on low recovery for too long. The second deadly mistake is sitting too much. People often think they are safe because they go for a short walk once or twice a day, but studies show that long hours of sitting are as harmful as smoking. A paper in the American Journal of Epidemiology followed more than 120,000 adults for 14 years. Those who sat for more than 8 hours daily without regular breaks had a 15% higher risk of early death, even if they exercised later. When the muscles stay inactive for hours, blood sugar and triglycerides rise, the heart becomes less efficient, and circulation slows down. The body was not designed to sit still for long stretches. Movement is its natural medicine. Even small motions, like standing up every 30 minutes or walking around the house while talking on the phone, can lower the risk of heart disease and improve longevity. Sitting too long stiffens arteries, weakens the lower body, and increases the chance of blood clots. Over time, it also affects mood because movement stimulates serotonin, the hormone that helps you feel calm and alive. Seniors who spend most of the day on the couch or in front of the TV are unknowingly cutting years off their life, one episode at a time. The third deadly mistake is eating the wrong way, even when the food looks healthy. The human body after 60 becomes far more sensitive to sugar, processed oils, and sodium. Yet these ingredients quietly find their way into almost every packaged or restaurant meal. In a study from Harvard's THIV, Chan School of Public Health, researchers discovered that people who ate ultra-processed foods daily had a 31% higher risk of death compared to those who ate mostly whole foods. Many seniors believe they are eating fine because they have cereal in the morning, sandwiches for lunch, and soup for dinner. But most of these foods are full of hidden sugars and refined carbs that cause insulin spikes. This constant insulin activity leads to chronic inflammation, which slowly damages arteries, joints, and organs. The key is not to eat less, but to eat more real food. Vegetables, nuts, seeds, and simple homemade meals are what keep cells young. The Japanese island of Okinawa, known for having one of the longest living populations on Earth, follows this principle. Their meals are small, plant-based, and rarely include processed oils. It's not magic, it's habit. Longevity is built on daily discipline, not on diet trends or supplements. The fourth deadly mistake is ignoring hidden stress. Many seniors assume stress is something that affects younger people with jobs and bills, but that is far from the truth. Emotional stress in old age is just as destructive, especially when it goes unspoken. Loneliness, fear of health problems, financial worries, or grief after losing loved ones. All these emotions quietly trigger chronic cortisol release. A study from the University of California showed that older adults with constant stress had shorter telomeres, the protective caps on DNA that determine how long a cell can live. Shorter telomeres mean faster aging and higher risk of disease. This is not about being positive all the time. It's about not letting emotional pain sit inside without being expressed. Talking, writing, praying, or even crying helps release emotional pressure. Seniors who hold everything inside often suffer in silence, and their bodies carry the weight. Chronic stress also weakens the immune system and increases inflammation, both of which speed up the aging process. The human heart is not meant to carry years of unspoken pain. It needs release to keep beating strong. The fifth deadly mistake is neglecting social and mental activity. The brain is like a muscle. It grows sharper the more you use it, and it weakens when ignored. Studies from Harvard and Stanford have shown that seniors who maintain active social lives live an average of 7 years longer than those who live in isolation. The reason is simple. Human connection stimulates dopamine and oxytocin, chemicals that protect against depression and memory loss. Loneliness, on the other hand, triggers inflammation, just like smoking or high blood sugar. Many older adults stop learning new things after retirement, thinking they have lived enough to know what they need. But the truth is, the brain thrives on novelty. Trying a new hobby, learning a language, or even playing a puzzle game keeps neural connections alive. In one groundbreaking study, seniors who practice new mental tasks for just 10 hours a week improve cognitive performance as much as people 20 years younger. The mind needs purpose. Without it, it begins to decay, and the body soon follows. These 5 mistakes may seem ordinary, but they are the quiet killers that determine whether someone thrives past 80 or fades before it. Most people imagine death as something that arrives suddenly, but in reality, it starts years earlier, disguised as small daily habits. A skipped walk here, a restless night there, a few processed meals each week. It all adds up. The human body is forgiving for a time, but not forever. What you do daily writes your biological story more powerfully than any doctor's diagnosis. If you think about the people who live long, healthy lives, they are rarely the ones with perfect genetics or access to expensive health care. They are usually those who respect the small details. They go to bed early. They take walks after meals. They talk with neighbors. They laugh often and eat simply. They do not see health as a program, but as a rhythm of living. Science confirms this again and again. A study from the Blue Zones Project, which analyzed the world's longest living communities, found that longevity was mostly tied to lifestyle, not medication. Regular movement, emotional connection, purpose, and natural foods were the strongest predictors of living past 85. Many people say they want to live longer, but very few truly mean it. Because to live longer, you have to change small habits that most people are unwilling to change. You have to sleep when the world is watching TV. You have to eat vegetables when everyone else is eating cake. You have to move your body when it feels easier to rest. But the reward is worth every small sacrifice. A body that works smoothly, a mind that stays clear, and a heart that beats without fear. Longevity is not about counting years. It's about creating a life that your body enjoys living in. The question to ask is not, how can I live longer, but what am I doing daily that shortens my life? That single shift in thinking changes everything. Because once you see that your daily routine is either killing you or healing you, you start paying attention. You begin noticing how your energy drops when you eat late, how your mind feels heavy when you stay indoors all day, how your body aches when you ignore sleep. These signals are your body's way of pleading for change. Imagine two 75-year-olds. Both wake up at the same time. One goes straight to the TV with coffee and biscuits. The other steps outside, feels the morning air, and takes a short walk. One eats processed snacks through the day. The other cooks something simple with olive oil, garlic, and vegetables. One stays indoors, rarely speaking to anyone. The other calls a friend just to laugh. At first, there is no visible difference. But 5 years later, the first is constantly visiting doctors. The second is still gardening, still smiling. Same age, different choices. Longevity is not luck. It is repetition of the right habits. The good news is, it's never too late to change. Even at 70 or 80, the body can recover from years of neglect. Studies have shown that people who start walking daily in their 70s can still cut their mortality risk by nearly 30%. Those who improve sleep quality at any age see better immune strength within weeks. The brain forms new connections even at 90. That means you are never stuck. You are always one choice away from adding years to your life. So if you want to live past 82, pay attention to these 5 things. Sleep deeply, move often, eat real food, release stress, stay socially and mentally alive. Every one of these is proven to reverse or slow aging. You don't need expensive pills, special diets, or secret formulas. You only need consistency. The body loves routine. It rewards discipline with life. Each morning, when you wake up, remind yourself that how you spend this day decides how many days you have left. Every night, when you close your eyes, ask yourself whether you treated your body like a machine to be used or a temple to be preserved. Most people die before 82, not because of bad luck, but because they never stopped to ask that question. They lived as if health was permanent. They ignored the quiet messages their body tried to send. And when the body finally gave up, they said it was fate. But fate is often just the sum of ignored habits. Longevity does not belong to the lucky. It belongs to the aware. Those who listen to the whispers of their body before it starts screaming. Those who respect their sleep, their food, their peace, and their purpose. If you want to live longer, start today. Take a slow walk. Call someone you love. Eat something that grew from the ground. Breathe deeply before you sleep. These are not small acts. They are extensions of life itself. Because every choice you make is either feeding disease or feeding life. The people who live beyond 82 are not extraordinary. They are simply those who stopped making the mistakes that kill most others quietly every single day. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to one simple truth. The life you live tomorrow depends on the choices you make today. Most people don't die because their bodies fail suddenly. They die because they ignored the small warnings their body gave them every single day. That morning stiffness you brushed off, that late night tiredness you blamed on age, that racing heartbeat you said was normal. All of it is your body speaking to you in a language you've forgotten how to hear. If your daily habits are quietly shortening your life, would you want to know before it's too late? Because awareness is the real medicine. Once you see the connection between how you live and how long you live, everything changes. You start noticing that health isn't lost in one big moment. It slips away slowly through the choices you repeat without thinking. The good news is that the same truth works in your favor. Every small correction, an earlier bedtime, a 10-minute walk, a calm breath before sleep, builds new life inside you. The clock doesn't stop, but the decline can. The power to extend your years is still in your hands, if only you choose to listen now.